Hey everyone, welcome back to the Earthy Goodness Kitchen. Hope you're doing well and you've been cooking lots of tasty food. I am tired of scripting these intros to try and captivate the audience or get the viewer to watch for longer or even watch at all. So today we're just freestyling it and we'll see what happens. So I do have a rough plan for this video. The other day on my YouTube community, I posted a quick question asking for your favorite potato dish, and you all gave loads of delicious answers, and a few of them did catch my eye. One of you suggested Greek-style lemon and garlic potatoes, and that just sounded absolutely delicious. So I thought I would turn that into a full dish, do some marinated tofu with yogurt, garlic, herbs, that sort of thing. And then I think we'll do it on some sort of spread and then a nice little salad. And then on my Patreon page, a member called Trish, who's been a supporter for a very long time, posted a picture of a curry that was topped with some sagaloo potatoes, and it looked absolutely delicious. So we're going to do something similar to that today. Haven't fully planned it out, but it's definitely going to be very tasty. The great thing about potatoes is they're incredibly nutritious, but they're also very cheap. I bought this great big bag of Maris Piper potatoes for about £1.50 in the supermarket, so an absolute bargain. And that is going to create lots of delicious meals. I love meal prepping potatoes ready for the week. It makes whipping up a quick dinner super easy. So today I'll show you how to meal prep them and then we're going to create those two delicious meals. So we'll just start by cutting these potatoes into equal sized pieces. I'm going to keep the skin on, but you are welcome to remove it. There is of course lots of good fiber and nutrients in the skin, so that's why I tend to keep it on. And then generally you want to cook potatoes from cold, so I'm just going to fill up this pan with cold water. Then add a nice pinch of salt so that we season these potatoes from within. Get them on the heat. And we'll put a lid on top so it comes to the heat a bit quicker. Cooking the potatoes in cold water ensures that they cook evenly. If you start them in hot water, the outsides will become sort of fluffy and mushy before the centers have finished cooking. I wasn't going to make a coffee today, but I am feeling pretty knackered, so I'm going to give in, and I think I'll just make a sort of half and half decaf, half regular, and hopefully that'll perk me up a bit. Okay, let's get cooking. Cheers. Once the potatoes come to a boil, we're going to turn them down to a simmer and cook them until tender. We don't want to overcook them though, as we will continue cooking them in the final dishes. Okay, these are looking good. A knife slides in fairly easily, but they're not completely soft, so that is perfect. I'm going to drain these and then let them steam dry. So to make these potatoes last even longer in the fridge, I like to place them on a tray or chopping board into the fridge and just let them dry out even further. Because if you place them into a Tupperware when they're wet, they're going to have lots of moisture on them and they won't stay good for quite as long. So if you've got the space in your fridge, it's a great idea to just dry them out a little bit. George, put down those potatoes and listen to this. Did you know that potatoes are rich in vitamin C, B6 and potassium? Wow, that is great. And one medium potato contains 3 grams of protein. So are you saying that plants actually contain protein? Who would have thought it? Sure do. Okay, so we're going to do some Greek-style marinated tofu. So I'm just adding some vegan yogurt into a bowl. We're going to marinate it and then we're going to grill it. Then we're going to go in with some lovely fresh lemon zest. Best way to use zester, grip your lemon and then move the zester around the lemon, like so. In that goes. Then we're going to add in the lemon juice as well. And then back to the zester, I'm going to add 2 nice big cloves of garlic. Zesting it will make it really nice and punchy and strong in flavor as we're breaking down lots of the fiber of the garlic. We'll add some herbs now. I'm going to go in with some dried oregano. Just a touch of dried mint. This stuff can be quite strong, so you don't need too much. I've got some fresh rosemary here as well, which is going to add a lovely floral flavor, sort of woody and floral. Then a good grating of black pepper. And a nice pinch of salt, generous pinch. And then just simply whisk that all together Get all those seasonings distributed through the yogurt. And then I've got some extra firm tofu here. And then I'll just tear nice chunks into the marinade. And we'll make them this sort of size. And then just gently toss the tofu through the marinade. And ideally leave it overnight, but just 20 minutes will make a big difference. I'm also going to add some olive oil into here, which I nearly forgot. You don't have to, but it does help when cooking it. I want to serve the tofu and potatoes on a sort of spread, so we're just going to do a quick Harissa hummus. This is some hummus I made the other day, but you're welcome to just buy your hummus. At first I was thinking a creamy yogurt sort of sauce, but then the tofu's already marinated in that, so a little bit of contrast from some harissa I think will be nice. Not particularly Greek, but it's going to be very tasty. So just stir your harissa paste through the hummus. Should turn a lovely orangey color now. We're going to add a touch of extra cumin as well. And that's going to be the base for this delicious lunch or dinner. Okay, so I've just cut the potato into wedges, placed it in a baking dish, and we're going to make the lemon garlic potatoes. We're going to make a really nice lemony stock here. So I've got some vegan chicken stock in here. We're then going to add in lemon juice, lemon zest as well. I'm actually running a little bit low on lemon zest, so just gonna get as much as I can off this lemon. Don't want to get too much of the white pith though. Some dried oregano, a load of sliced garlic. You could also do minced if you wanted to. In it goes. And then some black pepper. Of course, a nice pinch of salt. And then a really good amount of olive oil. This stock will make the potatoes really lovely and tender and buttery. And it's gonna be beautifully flavored. So just give that a whisk. And then just pour that over your potatoes. We'll bake this until most of the liquid is evaporated and the potatoes are starting to go lovely and caramelized and golden. The tofu I'm actually going to grill in my air fryer just because it gets really nice and hot. So just get all your tofu and the marinade in there. Any excess marinade will just go really nice and sticky and sort of caramelized. And just spread that out evenly across your baking dish or air fryer. And then we'll cook this until it's lovely and charred and golden. Okay, and here are the lemon and garlic potatoes. They look absolutely delicious, caramelized on top, and I can smell that sort of perfume of the garlic and the lemon. It is incredible. I'm going to start with a nice big dollop of that smoky harissa hummus. Just sort of smear that around the plate. So, then some of those beautifully caramelized potatoes. And then that grilled tofu has a lovely bit of color, but it's still really nice and juicy. And then to finish up, I've got some sliced Kalamata olives, which are lovely and juicy. So much flavor in them. And some fresh herbs. I've got some mint and parsley here. And that has got to be one of the most delicious ways to use up some meal prepped potatoes. Yogurt and garlic marinated and grilled tofu, Greek style garlic and lemon potatoes, and then a lovely smoky harissa hummus, lots of herbs, and those juicy Kalamata olives. Okay, time to give this a taste. Wow, that is good. If boiling some potatoes at the start of the week means I get to eat food like this, then I'm definitely going to be doing it. This is so good. Those potatoes are buttery soft, and then they've got a lovely caramelized outside and loads of lemony, garlicky flavor, but it's sort of mellow and roasted rather than the sort of pungent sort of flavor you get from raw garlic and lemon. Then you've got a nice bit of heat from the hummus, juicy and peppery Kalamata olives, and then the tofu. It's lemony, it's herby, slightly creamy from the yogurt, and yeah, has a really nice charred edge, which adds so much flavor. Definitely give this dish a go. This is probably one of my favorite things that I've cooked recently. If you like delicious recipes like these ones, be sure to check out my Patreon page where you can get bonus content, recipe PDFs, and early access to my YouTube videos. Just scan the QR code or there'll be a link in the description box. Okay, next up, to use those meal prep potatoes, we're going to make a lovely, rich and fragrant carrot and lentil curry, and then we're going to top it with those potatoes, maybe add in some more spices, some spring onion, and then we'll bake it until they're lovely and crispy. We'll start by prepping the carrots, and I'm just going to slice them on a slight angle, make nice sort of chunky pieces. You want a bit of variety in shape and size, as that's going to add different sort of textures within the curry. It means the smaller bits will sort of cook down into the curry, and then the larger bits will get really nice and caramelized and be slightly more al dente. Okay, so I've got a large pan over a sort of medium-high heat, and I'm going to add in some olive oil now that it's heated up. And then we're actually going to start by cooking off the carrots. So add them in. We're cooking the carrots first rather than the onions, as we want them to get some really nice color and caramelization on them. And they also take quite a while to cook, so this will start them off. And then once your carrots are starting to get a nice bit of color on them, you can go in with a good pinch of salt. This is the sort of caramelization we're looking for on the carrots. You can then turn down the heat, and we're going to add in 1 diced onion. And I'm also going to add in a sprinkle of cumin seeds. We'll cook down this onion for about 5 to 7 minutes until it's starting to soften and caramelize just slightly. Okay, this is looking really nice. Onions are soft, slightly golden, and the carrots are getting nice and soft now. We'll go in with some minced garlic now, and some ginger as well. And we'll cook out the ginger and garlic for about 2 minutes. Smelling lovely and fragrant now. Next to go in are the dried spices, starting with some curry powder. We have 2 teaspoons. Turmeric for that amazing golden color. Some extra cumin because the lovely earthy sweetness just goes so well with those carrots. And I always like to add some extra ground coriander. It's just so lovely and citrusy and bright. I like to add just a touch of oil with the dried spices to ensure they don't burn. And then give them a stir through the carrots and the onion. And we'll just give them a light toast for about 1 minute. I've got the heat on very low at the moment to ensure they don't burn. I'm adding in 1 can of chopped tomatoes now, and a can of coconut milk. And then you can just wash out the can of chopped tomatoes with some vegetable stock. Also going in with 1 can of green lentils, I believe these are, or maybe brown. Either one work perfectly. I'm keeping this curry really nice and simple. Everything's going in all at once. And we'll just let this simmer away while we prepare the potato topping. I'm going to add a crack of black pepper as well. This is bubbling away nicely now. I'm going to turn down the heat and just let it simmer away for about 25 to 30 minutes, I'd say, until it's lovely and rich and thick, and the carrots are nice and soft. Ready? Don't shake. Ah. Okay, so I've got my potatoes here, and I'm going to add in some finely chopped spring onion for a nice bit of crunch and oniony goodness. Then we'll go in with some turmeric for that lovely golden color. Some garam masala, adds a nice bit of spice. It's got some really sort of warming spices in it, like cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, that sort of thing. And then I'm also going to add in some nigella seeds or onion seeds. A good drizzle of olive oil. This is going to help me get nice and crispy on top of the curry. A small pinch of salt. We've already cooked these potatoes in salted water, so we don't need too much. And a good grating of black pepper. And that's it. We just need to give them a good mixing together. You can crush them, that's absolutely fine. You do want them at least crushed a little bit so that they sort of spread over the curry. They will sort of naturally break up as you stir them. Get all those spices and seasonings and the spring onion mixed through. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's check back on the curry. Okay, this is coming along nicely. It looks lovely and thick and rich, and the carrots are nice and soft now. I'm going to give this curry a bit of a health boost and add in some lovely fresh spring greens, and we'll just wilt them into the curry. I think these might be called collard greens in America, but I'm not 100% sure about that. If you're from America, let me know if these look familiar. And then for a finishing touch, I'm going to add in some fresh coriander. Now I would also add some fresh lemon juice, but I need it for another recipe I'm filming later, so squeeze at the end is always good. Coriander is quite citrusy and bright, so that should be absolutely perfect. Now this may seem crazy, but I've just put the curry into my air fryer and I'm now going to add on the potato topping. And the reason for this is because I don't want to turn on the oven. A, because it's expensive, and B, because it's really hot in this kitchen already with all my filming gear. So I'm just gonna use the air fryer. We'll see how it goes. So just sort of crumble your potatoes over your curry. Okay, there you go, that is looking absolutely beautiful. We're going to add a small drizzle of olive oil and then we'll put it into the air fryer. Of course, you can do this in the oven in a baking dish. I'll put full instructions in the description box. Okay, I don't know if you're ready for this, but look at that. Just 13 minutes in the air fryer and it is beautifully golden and crispy on top. Really nice saucy and creamy curry, and then you've got those crispy potatoes on top. This is going to be delicious. I'll be honest, I have just had lunch, so I'm quite full, but I thought I would give it a try, and I can assure you that it is very, very delicious. The curry is creamy and fragrant, and those carrots are just beautifully soft. And then the potato topping, it's almost like you've got some onion bhajis on top, because you've got those spices and the spring onion in there, giving it that sort of onion bhaji vibe. Really, really tasty. One tip I would give is to make sure your curry is quite saucy, as when you put the potatoes on top, they're going to absorb some of that liquid and you don't want a dry curry. Another delicious way to use some simple boiled potatoes. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you've got time to watch another, check out this one.